Okay, here's the thing. I refuse to believe these are all the same color. Because this is the pen I've been using, right? And then here's my older one that I was using. But wait, I have bought quite a few of these. Like a lot of them. So if I'm wrong, I have spent more money than I should have at this point. They're not extremely expensive. They're roughly around $8. But that does start to add up over time. So we're just gonna do a quick test here. So the one I've been using, which is the green one, pink, blue, yellow, which kind of looks orange on the camera. It's yellow. And then purple. Whatever, that's close enough. So the ones I've been using are a little bit dirty, but we'll just do a quick little doodle in each one of these squares. Might as well test out my old pen to see the difference, and then we'll draw out the rest of them. And that's the last one. And you guys are gonna see they are gonna be different colors. They're all gonna be tinted slightly different. Let's put this off to the side. Grab my black light, and let me turn off the lights for dramatics. What you should do is get a bunch of green spy pens and make a homemade paint with them. That way they won't look so streaky and look more solid. Alright, should be easy enough. First things first, let's just go ahead and try to find a weak spot to open this up. This is my older spy pen, but I haven't used it too much yet, so it should still have a little bit of ink in it. I don't want it to explode. I think my best bet is just to try to cut this thing open, wherever this thing lets me. It's just kind of bending on itself. I bet if I do shallow cuts, it'll probably cut. Some really good plastic, honestly. Maybe it comes out like a crab leg. No, I think I'm gonna see if I can pull it out. Can probably cut a little bit and get it out that way. Okay, now it's just falling apart on me. But I think if I'm careful, I can probably get it out. If I'm being honest, it doesn't really feel like it has ink left. But let's see. No, it's just falling apart. Let me try one more time. It kind of looks like it's just foam coming out. I'm gonna try, but with the brand new one. Let me take these gloves off. Yeah, let's try with this pink one right here. I bet if I'm more careful, I can get it out better. Yeah, there we go. And then let's just see if anything comes out of this. A couple drops in this one. Yeah, let me get a close up here for you. It's a little hard to see. Let me fix the camera real quick. Also just realized the whole first half of this is out of focus. Oh well, I'll fix that in post. Okay, it's not a lot of ink, but there is a few drops in there. Well, that's a good page to test this out on. So I'm only going to be going over the question mark, just to see if it works. Looks pretty promising. Let's just go ahead and dry it real quick. Honestly, that looks really good. I'm using the good ink, so it should stay. but we're definitely gonna have to check in on this in a couple days just to see if it stayed. But I like it. Not gonna lie, Mr. Krabs, I'm not feeling it today. But let's just see if we can at least start the page. We'll say we'll draw for maybe 30-40 minutes. See how we feel then. So today we are drawing the first half of The Muse Has Spoken. This page is definitely more on the complicated side, and it has quite a few more elements going on to it. So let's just see what we can do for each one of these parts. So normally I would go ahead and add multiple layers to begin with, but I want to add kind of like a haze to this drawing. So before adding all the weathering, we're going to go ahead and add in all the acrylics and all the black ink. That way, as we start adding layers of gouache, everything starts to kind of fade into itself. So the bottom of the page kind of has like these whitish yellow symbols. So using some acrylic, we're going to go ahead and block those out. Now the reason I'm using acrylic is because as I add all the weathering layers, the acrylic will always kind of overpower the gouache and will always poke through. That way, no matter how I end up weathering this page, all these symbols will be very visible. So this almost looks like it's going to be like a sunrise. So I want to add quite a bit of white acrylic in the center so that we can bring a lot of attention to that sun. And then it kind of looks like the sun is highlighted with maybe a yellowish orange color. So I'm just going to use an orange and I'm just going to kind of highlight where that sun is going to be. It looks a little strong right now, but again, just give it some time. As we start adding in other layers and colors, a lot of these colors are going to become much more subtle looking. And to kind of soften up that white, I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow into it, just so that white is not so prominent. And then I find it best to just kind of go back and forth until we find a happy medium. So recently I was asked if there was any way to weather these pages quicker. And my response to that is no. I understand, okay? I wish there was a quicker way to do this, but if you want to have that really unique quality look to each page, unfortunately, you are going to have to do it page by page. Earlier in the journal, I did try to cheap out on the weathering part. If you go back and look at earlier pages, all I really was doing was just kind of splattering ink onto the page and calling it good. But if you were to compare that to the more recent pages, the weathering part definitely has a big quality difference. I'm personally more of a fan of the newer look that I've been doing, but all of that is honestly subjective. Basically, what I'm trying to convey here is there's no need to actually rush the process. There are many projects out there that have taken years to complete, so it's okay to slow down so that you get the quality that you're really hoping to get out of this. One of the best pieces of advice I've been told, especially when you're kind of low on motivation, is just try to take 30 minutes of your day to work on it. What I do a lot of the times is I'll just kind of put on an episode of something that I'm watching on. Most TV show episodes are roughly around 28-ish minutes. So however long one episode takes is usually what I'll try to do. And that usually works out for me. All right, that's my 30 minutes. Gonna go ahead and call it for today. So it's a brand new day, had a good night's rest, had a pretty good day at work, and I'm ready to get right back to it. So for the brush work, I'm going to be using a number 1 pen, and that should get me really nice thick lines. Some of the details are a little hard to make out, but it's kind of just like a bunch of brushed in trees scattered everywhere, with a little bit of rock formation on top. So I'm going to be adding quite a bit of hatch lines, but I'm mostly going to rely on my gouache paint once I'm done. See, because everything right now is a really solid color, but as we add a little bit of this wash everywhere, it'll lighten up some areas while keeping other areas a little bit darker. I knew I was missing one of them. And then as we go along, we can go ahead and start weathering the whole page. And the good thing here is we can add as many layers as we need to, because all of that ink, regardless of how much gouache we put on, is going to pop right through. And then for the rock formation, we're going to add a really strong white highlight to it. This is just going to help emphasize that sunrise. And then the easy part, we're just going to write out the full message. And the title kind of gives away what's written here. It's going to be Ford talking about how Bill Cipher kind of came back to him. I haven't finished reading the whole page, but I'm assuming it's going to be something along the lines about the portal. So I just realized, because I was wondering why there was no period at the end of the sentence. This is actually a 2-page spread, and this is only the first half of it. I thought it was only 1 page.